And we are live. Yes, Lord. I swear. Like I said before we got on the air. Every time you come with it like a different look. You a chameleon, girl.
You know, got to keep it interesting.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah. See, I'm falling off. People falling off. But I'm back. See, it wasn't that long. So, and how have you been, gorgeous?
I've been good. I've been good.
No doubt. And how the year been so far for you?
So far so good. I feel like, we're just kind of getting started for 2025. So,
Mm.
you know,
But sure, what the year been up and down for me so far. Right now as we're recording this, I'm in my birthday month, so I'm turning the silver age of 50,
oh, when's your birthday?
April 21st. So I'm
Okay.
cut off.
Okay.
Right there to go. And I actually was born at the cutoff, like at midnight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing on the birth certificate. I said, "Well, damn." So I was smoking, and then I guess it's safe to say that I'm a Taurus with Aries traits per se. Oh my
Right.
goodness. So what's been going on with you since we last talked? Since you was with she was on the premium smoke room showing them beautiful titties off. What you been up to? What's been going on?
Um, I don't, like I said, just kind of getting the year started, getting ready to go to Exotica next week, and then kind of getting everything set in stone and getting ready for this UK event that I'm hosting in July. So
Oh my God. Yeah, you said yeah. Where is it? UK. I think I saw the advertisement. UK Splash. UK something.
yeah, Squad House UK.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Why is everyone having a slow start to the year?
I think that means it's going to be a really busy summer. Everyone's starting slow so that way we can hit the ground running in the summer.
Oh my God. Because like everyone I talked to was like they really haven't done much yet. And
Hmm.
they all are waiting like well, except for the ones that might went to the AVN, but for the most part,
Right, right.
everyone's waiting for Exxxotica Chicago.
Hmm. Feels like that's going to be like the kickoff to the season.
Oh my God. See, that tell me I hate that I'm not going because that means it's gonna be lit. Cause it's like everybody's gonna be like, yeah, since they started,
Yeah,
they really trying to get it started.
that's what it seems like. I'm excited. It's my first Exotica in a while, so I'm excited.
Oh my God. So where's your plans for this Exotica? Shoots, booth? What's going
Uh,
on?
walking around the floor, networking, and then I got some collabs planned. I linked up with the Sex Work PR group, and so they're running a content event that'll probably stop through and get some shoots
Yes,
in.
Lola Booty Love would tell me about that. I want
Hmm.
if I ever go to this Exotica, I want to be down with that so I can get behind the scenes footage and stuff. And how did you hook up with them?
So actually, Jay Playhard has been working with them for a while, and so he said he was going. We were planning to go to Exotica.
Mhm.
Anyway, his birthday is next week while we'll be in Chicago. And he was like, "Hey, if you want to link up, help out the shoot house or whatever, then we can get some kind of VIP access, to Exotica." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm down, run it." So kind of recently got added to the Telegram group this week, and they are active over there. I'm excited already.
See, I gotta learn Telegram, man. 'Cause I be missing out like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I got to turn the TV down because
Okay.
and they like, damn, nigga, you ain't got your shit together. But anyway, but
Yeah.
but yeah, because they were telling about the content event, and a lot of people actually attend that content event
Hmm.
and give a lot of say get able to get a lot of content or what have you.
Yeah, it
And
looks like there's going to be a lot of people there, so I'm definitely excited to check it out and then do some other collabs on the side. We got some fun stuff planned, so
mm,
I'm excited. I never put too much weight into a convention collab though, because everyone is everywhere. So you get what you get, and you come home with more than what you left with, and it's a success.
yeah, because it's kind of like people partying,
Yeah.
and then everybody want to try to cram everything in within like a 4 day span. And
Exactly.
shit, me myself, I'm like, with the age I'm at now, it'll be one shoot a day because I ain't a young buck no gotcha. These motherfuckers be trying
Yeah.
to do like 5 shoots a day within like.
hmm And but then you get down to the end and they can't even perform and stuff. That's why like I never put too much like as long as I come home with more content than I went, some new connections, some new like, whatever. I don't try to stress too much about like keeping to the schedule and like pre-planned a bunch of stuff because you can't because everyone's going to cancel. So
And not only that, you'll never hear anyone talk about networking.
right.
It's always about the content, but never the networking. And it's like these conventions are great for networking.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's almost more valuable than the content itself.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So smokers, y'all know what time it is. It's time to smoke this over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. You know who I am. Your wonderful host, Kavanaugh Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link on mylinks.com/porn rap star. Five. That's right, people. Five sponsors that we got to tell you about and we boast about. This brings this wonderful podcast. The first one being eroticismmagazine.com, one of the hottest adult magazines in the game. Next up, award-winning, award-nominated voiceover with smut and virtual reality. I'm talking about none other than blushrocker.com. And if you need candles, I got you there, the Kinky Candle Company. Also, I got some legal help for you. The Queen of Law herself, Mitchell Ferrari. And if you want to look fly as you roll your weed and you smoke, I got you. Pass that inhalation partners. Go there, hit the link, T Public. Check out their t-shirts, their hoodies for both men and women. And it's fly and it's 420 friendly. See, people, we speak to the Smokers Lounge theme. You feel me? Also, you can find me 5 days out the week in the mornings at fullswatradio.com, as well as sgpradio.com, as well as skyhawkafterdarktv.com. Now, people, y'all seen this lady on the Smokers Lounge. Y'all enjoyed her titties and her banter on the premium smoke room. She is a swinger extraordinaire. She is one of the it, trendsetters when it comes to content creation. Yeah, she was doing it before the fucking cool people. She was doing it before the damn pandemic. You got me. She's gorgeous. She's sexy. She's nasty. She's freaky. And she's cool as a fan. I'm talking about none other than the star, Savanna Star. Say hello again to the.
Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm definitely excited to be back. So,
So before we go into you going to the UK, because the I see you and play hard. Y'all really go to that UK, god dang it. I am jealous. I want to go to England and Scotland so goddamn bad. But
you know,
I thought it'd be an interesting conversation because you're a business owner like myself, content, whatever.
hmm
Recently, Adam 22 talked about and opened up about his company going broke. Now,
hmm
we're in the business where people come in thinking, one, it's a lot of money and it's easy,
hmm
but not thinking long term, not
right.
thinking things change.
That's a fact.
Period. And I thought it'd be a great topic to discuss on the porn side, y'all people. So, how many people got a rude awakening in this business after the pandemic was over?
I think a lot, and people continue to get a rude awakening as it is an ever changing game, and you gotta adapt to what's working. Also, people aren't just sitting at home anymore subscribing to your OnlyFans. That you gotta reach them where they're at, and that's not where it's at so much. There's still people that have great success on fan sites and love to see it, love to support the next creator, but for the vast majority of people you can't just start an account and make $10,000 a month like it. The rest of us out here gotta do things a little bit differently. So
Yeah, because when he was talking about it, it got me to think. I even did I had the smoke on it about it that the pandemic really obscured a lot of
Hmm.
people's thought
Definitely.
process when it comes to this business coming in. One, it made it
Absolutely.
seem so cool, which it
Yeah.
is cool. Don't get it twisted, but it cool in the way that motherfuckers think they can do what we do,
That's a
and
fact.
I'm
Yeah.
so tempted.
The actual like work behind it, uh you didn't, I guess you didn't have to put in as much effort during that time. Like you could, kind of get out there that you were doing content, and like I said, people didn't have nothing else to do, so they would flood to subscribe, and that's just not the case anymore. um and you can really see the people that started before the pandemic and how they kind of stayed with like a consistent business model, and
Mm-hmm.
the ones, and they're kind of steady upward trajectory because it's been a slow and steady race, versus the people that came in during and like hit the roof, and now you can see it kind of falling back
Yeah,
down,
even to the point where, like, some of the girls that would do it solo, they were just so about fetish. Oh, oh,
yeah.
they got a dick in their mouth right now.
Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact. Because you start thinking, what can I do? Like, and fortunately or not, I don't know, we live in a very, our industry is very comparative. So if you see the person next to you having a little bit of success and they're doing XYZ, and your subscribers are steady falling off, you're going to start maybe looking to see what that other person's doing a little bit.
And two, also, because even with me, one of the things I had to learn was you're going to lose subscribers and you're going to gain
Absolutely.
subscribers.
Yeah,
You know,
you can't keep them all. You
yeah,
never will, right? Like it's a ever revolving door. And I even laugh at, there'll be people that'll, big subscribers, they'll subscribe for 6 months, a year, they'll fall off. You won't see or hear from them for 6 months or a year, and then all of a sudden they're back, like they never left. Or sometimes they'll like be a monthly subscriber, they'll subscribe for 2 or 3 months,
yeah,
they'll leave for a little while, and sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. And you know just different people, different ways. And some people will never be monthly subscribers, they're clip store buyers, and they're just,
yeah,
that's what they're into. And then also utilizing tube sites has been a great way to stay successful about knowing what to post where.
mhm.
So you don't put everything out there for free, but you got to put a little bit, because you're getting, a, that's another way to get paid, and b, it's another way for people to figure out who you are.
And two, why is it that if I've been saying this, the game is heading towards .coms and streaming.
Hmm.
Um, and the reason why I say that, I'm gonna ask you this because it's something that you said, and I want you to kind of expound on it.
Hmm.
Is the clip site, well, excuse me, the clip sites, these fan sites or what have you, are they starting to run their course a little bit now?
um See, for me, like fan sites have never been like my number one focus or my number one revenue source. Like
Mm-hmm.
OnlyFans, Fansly, loyal fans. Um, I got them when they got popular, and I do have some great fans over there and have some great interaction on those fan sites. Um, but for me, that's never been where my like number one source came from. And I feel like from talking to people, the people that it was their number one source, it is falling off. I think a lot of it is because it used to only be OnlyFans, and now we have to talk about loyal fans and Fansly. So the content creators aren't always sure exactly where to post, and the fans aren't exactly sure where to find their
Yeah.
creators. And just for fans, and there's a lot of them, what, all
Mm-hmm.
the different ones. um and then those sites have um different things that they allow and different things they don't allow. And a lot of us, as we got more comfortable doing more extreme content, the
Yeah.
fan sites are the most strict on that, on the more extreme stuff. um so I'm like, am I going to stop shooting what I like, or am I going to find somewhere that like allows it to be
Yeah.
posted? But then again, people got to know where to find you. For me, it's always been a numbers game. So if I have the most content in the most places
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the month, when all the piles are collected, they
Yeah.
become the pile that I want it to be. But this pile over here is decent, and this one's not, so this one's kind of small and this one's pretty big and this one, but at the end of the month when it
You
all
see, it
comes
all
together.
adds up together. That's why I said
Right.
I'd rather have 5 checks than one.
Right.
You know, hands down. And two, you would think in this day and age, ladies and gents will understand how this fan base works because, especially, let's just be 100, it's probably whether it's across the board, gay, LBGT to cis, straight,
Mm-hmm.
gay, whatever, 90, if not 95% male. So
Absolutely.
no matter what, we're creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of got to have those sites because some of them fuckers won't go to the other site. They'll stay on that shit.
That's a fact. Or I'll give you a great example of how I know that people are creatures of habit and they choose where they're going to shop. So currently, this month, I have a video that I'm not in that I produced. So I own it. It did. It's over 2 million views on X videos.
Mhm.
So it's a good piece of it. Not the whole video, but like 12 minutes of a 22-minute
Yeah,
video.
so people can understand
Right.
it's videos you had in order to actually make money off the views, it has to be 10 minutes or more.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, so it's like 12 minutes of a 21-minute video. But even the full version that's on X Videos Red, so on the premium version of X Videos, it's got a couple thousand views. Like this video did very well on X Videos, right? Um, Yesterday, I sold 6 copies of the same video on ManyVids
Mhm.
for $30, right? So like 2 million people have seen it for free or seen most of it for free. However, 6 people still bought it yesterday at top dollar. So people are going to watch content where they're going to watch content, and very few people kind of detour away from where they go when they're ready to,
And see, too,
whatever, consume
and,
content. They're
and
going to go
another
to what
part
they know.
is that I hear guys, I don't hear this too much, but for females, they have an issue with putting their stuff up
Mhm.
on the tube site for free.
Mhm.
And not understanding that once again, all these tube sites you can make money off the viewership. No
That's a
different
fact.
than Spotify or YouTube. Why girls are so hesitant about that? Even
I
though
think
that's a good money stream.
they think it waters down their brand. So like if you can see all my videos for free, why are you going to subscribe to me? However, if you have enough content, you put, it's getting different content at different times. But also, like I said, the 10 to 12 minute edited down version, however many people are going to see that and be like, oh, Savannah, I like that girl. Let me go see where I can find her.
Mm.
Or, Savannah was in a video with Vicky. Let me go see who's this Vicky girl. Let me go see if I can find her. Um, and I don't know. You got to meet people where they're at, right? So it's there's so much exposure, and like you said, you get paid off of those tube sites.
Yeah,
I
cause
have
I ain't
people all the
gonna front.
time
I'm
that,
a proponent. Even though X videos fuck with me, shit.
yeah,
Long as some of my shit is up there that I can make some money off the viewership, I'm good. I'm
right,
still seeing them up a check a month.
right, yeah. People get so annoyed about, there's just this week I've gotten 4 takedown requests, or models reach out to me, ask me to remove their content off tube sites that we had shot previously. And I'm just gonna I tell you, like I tell them, you signed a model release. These are platforms that I utilize.
Mm-hmm.
There was no stipulations discussed at the time when we shot the content. I don't take it down. Very, very few exceptions. There have been a valid reason here or there, but for the most part, I don't take content down. Like,
And to me, I'm gonna say this again: women, y'all the worst winners ever. Because no matter what, you're gonna make more money than the guys. And once again, it takes more than one scene to make a check.
absolutely. I tell you,
That's
it's
the
a numbers
point.
game. The more content you have in the more places, the better you are. At the end of the month, when all your piles come together, that's
Yeah,
you're better off. Like,
because if you want to be honest, I got the same shit on like 5 different goddamn sites, and it sells
absolutely.
on all 5 of them sites.
Absolutely, because like we were talking about, people are going to watch content where they watch content. And so you got to meet them where they're at. Like some people are avid mini vids or clips for sale or OnlyFans or X videos or Fab House or whatever it is.
Mhm.
That's where they go. And so it's going to be a different audience on each of those different places.
Yeah, and see that it because even to the point where how can I put this? That's the reason why, and also too, I think the fan base are getting tired of the paywall because let's keep it 100. Too many times is a crapshoot
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're necessarily getting, and then you got these girls that put that 6 minute garbage up,
Uh
and then the
huh.
guys sit because people you it. Why do people think that dudes don't like link with their video?
You know, I don't, couldn't tell you. I will tell you, like, I like, like I'll go to somebody's profile or occasionally even subscribe to someone's profile, and like, it's almost like upsetting because I'm like, I feel like they're like trying to like rob the consumer, which makes the consumer trust someone like me less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when I say I have full videos on my wall or whatever, completely unlocked after the sub fee, but like she says that too, and she doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like you said, it's garbage. It's this mumble jumble, not quality content
Yeah.
garbage.
Because I don't think any time in history, the most I might have heard the critique of porn was that it looked what too fake. Now they're saying it's boring.
Yeah.
And the porn that's dominating right now, people, it's not the shit that we do. No, it's the OnlyFans style, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. You know how many times, like, I almost like, there's lots of times I shoot scenes in two different versions. I have my cell phone on the same tripod with the
Yeah,
light behind it that it's on right now. And then on the side, then we got the cameraman
yeah,
at angle as well because I like quality stuff. But sometimes you need that, the homemade amateur
yeah.
OnlyFans, whatever feel. And
But see, the
so,
thing about it is, I believe in balance.
yeah.
Balance across in all parts of life. You you have both because one, once again, the whole kid is she has to be my fantasy. That's why
Hmm.
I'm gonna spend money on her.
Right.
I fantasize about Savanna Star sucking my dick. I jerk off in the bathroom, or on the couch, in the bed. Some of y'all fuckers do it at work. But anyway,
Right. I
the
think too
point
that's,
I'm making is,
like you said, it's about balance. Like,
yeah,
and it depends on the scene type. Like if it's a more thought out, like put together scene, like you're gonna know. But if it's a homemade behind the scenes random swinger party hookup, like I usually put that in the title, so you know right away that like, hey, this is gonna be the camera work's gonna be a little shaky. It's gonna be a little dark maybe because this was just on some after hours like playing around. We pulled out a phone type content. This isn't, there's no lights, or whatever. Or you can see the light stand because we didn't care at that point or whatever it is.
but see, how can I put this? When you shoot those type videos, especially with the phone or what have you, on the what we consider now the amateur end,
Mm-hmm.
that's your rarity.
Right. Yeah.
These girls, that's their regular.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
And I don't care what nobody say, it's not a sustainable business plan in porn.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Because at some point your fans gonna want more.
Yeah.
I hate to tell people that. They're gonna want more. You like I said before, even if you do solos, if you did solo for a decade, that means that you was very inventive with your solos technique, with your solo.
Right. I was gonna say I bet it's not the same toy in the same position for a decade. It's gonna be, there's differences to each thing, whether you're like in a different room or at a different house or with different kinds of toys or like, whatever. Like, same thing, like My favorite is when people are like, people in the vanilla world, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna sell feet pics, and I'm like, it's not just about pictures of your toes. Then your toes are gonna be in peanut butter, and then they're gonna be in a cake, and then they're gonna be in someone's mouth,
They
right?
don't
Like,
want you to
there's a
pose doggy
progression.
style with the showing the bottom of your feet.
Right. Like, there's a progression. It starts here, and that's with all kinds of content. You start at kind of one side,
Yeah.
but it's always going to progress. Um, yeah. We
And
always
people
laugh.
act surprised about that. It's like I used to hear interviews. Well, he wanted me to take certain type pictures because the pictures that I just wasn't interested in taking it, this. And she never said what the custom pictures were, right?
Yeah.
But the point being is they gonna want to see you do more than what you doing, especially if you
Absolutely.
doing it long enough.
Hmm. That's a fact. We always laugh at those girls that, like, out the gate, they're like triple anal, like blah blah. You're like, where are you gonna go next? Like, what's left? Like,
No, I ain't go front. It's like I don't, it's like this. I ain't knocking none of you ladies that do that, but
absolutely not. Actually, more
it,
power to you. Like, that you can have
not
do all
everything
that
that
with your
you do
body.
off camera, you need to do on do it in a moderational way
Yeah.
because you don't want to lose the shock value because you ain't got no shock value in year four.
Right. You're for
like,
it.
like with Lily, like that girl in the field, she gotta do gangbangs. Just it's and she does so many gangbangs that if she did a regular boy girl, it'll be boring.
Yeah. Yeah. Either that, like, if that's your brand, then you're gonna have to, commit to it.
Yeah. But see, that's why I'm saying we're selling sex now. We're not selling sexy.
That's a fact.
Because how can I put this? A gangbang is a fantasy. It's a fantasy, but it doesn't benefit the woman.
Yeah, no. Like, I always say, like, you can never look cute doing a gangbang. Like,
I'm
there's
glad you
not
said that. I
cute,
didn't want to say it
sensual,
because girls
like,
gonna get mad at me. I look pretty with all them dicks around me. I'm like,
pretty is not the word. Like, it's hot, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
it's not pretty, it's not sensual, it's not,
yeah,
it's fun and it's hot, but it's not,
yeah. Because it's so people can understand why. It's because too many bodies.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't tell a story with 15 dudes and one chick. Not like that. You can do the little skit leading into it,
Hmm.
but it's it's no attention to detail.
I was gonna say, there's also, like, as being the female in the middle, like, you can't focus on, like, camera angles and looking good when there's that many men to pay attention to. Like, it's like sensory overload. Like, but the last thing you're thinking about is where the cameraman is and what he's doing. Whereas, like, in a boy girl,
Yeah,
it's more of a performance art, or, just a one boy one girl, or even a girl girl, whatever, two people, even three people. Sometimes it's more of a performance art than when you start getting to gangbangs and orgies. Then
yeah.
it's
Because
just,
the thing about it
you
is,
know,
how can I put this? You want them to remember you for you,
yeah,
not the gangbangs. So people can understand what I mean by that.
yeah.
It's we remember Marilyn Monroe because what? She was a sexy icon. We always gonna go to Marilyn Monroe. We always for the black folk, we always gonna go to Pam Grier.
Hmm.
You feel me? No matter ageless, timeless. Like my girl
Hmm.
Tony Storm. I love wrestling. Anyway, the point being is you're not becoming iconic. You're
Right.
just known for a sexual act.
Hmm.
It's not going to be as long lasting as such. Because let's be honest, the only reason why we even talking about the gangbang because somebody actually did one and it went viral.
Right,
But
right.
can y'all name the person that held the record before her?
Before
Yeah,
Lily,
for Lily.
I
Actually,
have no idea.
I think it's Amber Sparks, something like that. She did. She
Yeah, I
supposed
was
to do
gonna say, I'm sure there's people out there that know.
yeah,
I'm
and then I
sure,
think
but
something St. Clair did 100. But the point being is, oh, and Rebel Rider, she did
Yeah, Rebel
100.
Rider did
Yeah,
100.
but guess what? We don't remember Rebel Rider for gangbangs.
No, that's right. When you say her name, like I know that she does them, but that's not what she's known for. You know.
Bingo. Yeah. So it's kind of like we. I think that is also part of the reason why the downturn, because when I sit here and think about how the sites now we discount, how we do all that, that wasn't current 15.
Hmm.
Yeah, I say 15 years ago. I ain't gonna say 10, because
Hmm.
10 years ago, they'll allow you to do trial memberships. If that was the closest you were gonna get to some type of discount, that bitch was 10. They won't play with that shit. Oh my god. So, but yeah, I thought that'd be a nice little appetizer. So now, speaking about tariffs and what's about to go down, and being able to change streams. Let's talk about you going to the UK. Tell us about this UK trip.
I'm super excited. So, Squad House is like we about once a year. Independent production companies come together and throw a huge shoot house. So we've done Dallas, we've done Orlando. Um, the next one is in the UK. So, um, yeah, we got a bunch of sponsors. We got some clothing, like kind of sponsors that we're going to be doing. We have some UK based like production companies that are going to come in and do
Mm.
some paid shoots. Of course, lots of collabs. We're also doing an industry mixer for European talents and US talents to have like a networking night that we're not shooting
Mm.
content. We're not worried about that. We're just meeting each other, trying to bridge the gap between the two content economies. Um,
Porn stars going to end the tariff war, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it
yeah,
first. Porn stars
exactly,
end the tariff war.
exactly. Um, and then I got some on the back end. There's gonna be just some like one-off collabs before I leave the
Mm.
UK. Yeah, super excited for everything to come together. It's been about a year in the making, and it continues to get more and more cool things keep getting added. There's been some twists and turns along the way, as there
Yeah,
always
I'm
is, but
starting to see a lot of collaboration. It not just on the Play Hard on your side,
yeah,
but in general with Europe, with England
yeah,
in general.
yeah.
Um, One, how is it important for you to get your name over there in Europe?
So we actually are already working with European distribution companies for like to get content over there. So as the laws in the US
Hold on, wait a
continue
second.
to be shaky,
Let's explain the medium. DVD fuckers. Go ahead.
yeah. So as the laws in the United States continue to be shaky and we don't know where the industry is going to be in the next couple years as far as what's going to be, legal in the United States.
Mm,
Because lots and lots of states you can already not access porn online without age verifying first. More
mm,
and more states are adopting that. So as they do that, then it's going to be illegal. We can only guess what the next steps are, right? I think it's more important now than ever to get in the eyes of countries that may not be facing kind of the same conservative changes. So get your face, your name, start to work to those networks for long term success. Like we were just talking about earlier, it's an ever changing game, and in my humble opinion,
mm,
uh, this is the next step to continue to be successful at the same level and to continue to level up
mm.
um, is expanding past the United States.
Yeah, because I honestly, like I even think about on the music tip, there were
Hmm.
artists from over here that killing it over there. They couldn't make the billboard over here, but they like number
Right,
one over in England and France and so
right.
forth. You
You
know,
know what's crazy? There's an interview with Usher that he's like, "What song are you tired of performing?" And he's like, "Well, every single time I go to the UK, they want me to perform some song, and everyone in the United States is like, we've never even heard that fucking song." Like,
no, it's for real. Because
yeah,
see, one, I hate to bust the United States bubble. Not every country in the OnlyFans, people.
yeah,
Not every country's in the OnlyFans.
right,
Then it it no, and what I mean by not as in content creators, but I'm talking about purchase porn
yeah,
from.
right,
No, like people are like Christopher Sales still banging overseas
absolutely.
everywhere.
We actually we work with a broker who secures deals with European-based companies that need that to distribute content just to European markets.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, like that all equates back because, like I, said, when they see you there,
Yeah,
they'll come find you in your other places to be like, oh, this person's clearly based in the U.S. Let me, go search out where I can find this one person in this bundle of whatever. Um, like I said, the laws and things are kind of
yeah,
getting a little shaky.
yeah. Because see, and even to the point that DVDs make more money.
Hmm.
See, that's why when I hear all these people talk about how much money, y'all don't know how many motherfuckers back in the day did make $1 million off of porn.
Yeah,
And it was more than y'all think.
yeah. And
Cause
I still,
DVD
I still
was
truly
shit.
believe that like it's possible to make good money in this industry if you know what you're doing. Good long-term money,
Yeah.
sustainable money. Um, but it's not as easy as starting an OnlyFans and making 100 grand a year. Like
No, because
that's not
you
the.
got even with the Adam 22 shit, he was people assume he was making millions with this no jump, and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden he got to downsize it. That
Yeah.
lets you know that even with these females that's making $1 million next year,
Hmm.
it's when it drops off. People don't understand the drop off
Hmm.
is hard.
Hmm. But that's
People
why,
don't talk
like,
about that.
people look at me crazy when I'm like, I own close to 2,000 videos, and that over half of them are still in process, haven't been put out anywhere. They
Yeah,
look at you wild, and I'm like, that's like that's job security for me, right? Like
yeah,
that's so as much as I invest in these events to get the content on the backside, like
yeah,
it may be 2 years or 3 years or 4 years before I put that video out. And no matter when the other people put it out, because we've seen that doesn't matter for shit. So like they can put it out as soon as they shoot it. I don't care. When I go to put it out, I know that I'm going to start making my returns on it. Like,
yeah,
but it takes time. Been doing this for a little while and put a lot of time, energy, and effort into getting to that
yeah.
point.
Because see, the thing
So.
about it is that, like I tell people, it's the business change. And
Mhm.
like I said, when motherfuckers came out the pandemic, which I never thought this in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that the money's gonna continue to grow after. No, sometimes it hits, and then
Mhm.
your business take a tumble for a second.
And I think it's going to be real interesting what happens as we go into the economy that we're going into. So besides all the legal stuff, then you have, people don't have as much disposable income as they had a couple years ago, right? So like, when they're stuck, when it's sex is always going to sell, but like knowing kind of the market and
But see,
where,
but
you
see,
know,
but see, what this generation, special content creation generation, don't understand is when the money gets tighter, now they want it to look a certain way. Now it ain't
exactly.
about that goddamn OnlyFans look now.
Exactly. That's where I was going, right? Like now they're a little bit more particular where they're gonna spend those few extra dollars they got. And also like understanding that, some months if your subscribers are steady going going down, maybe you drop that sub rate $2 or $3 or something to bring more value, or start adding additional content to bring more value to the sub rate that you want to get. Like sometimes you got to put in a little bit more to get the same thing out when the world is going crazy outside of our little bubble.
Yeah, because see, and two, also the fact that, like I said, you have an extended library of content,
Mm,
and I always was taught that the key to this business is filming. The more
facts.
content, the
Content is
more
currency.
works better for you.
Yeah, content is currency for sure. And the going back 100 times, the most free game that I can give people is it's a numbers game. The most content in the most places.
Yeah.
That's how you have continued success. And people look at me crazy, they're like, someday, one day, someone's gonna give me the game, and I'm like, I just gave it to you, but you got to go do the work to get there. You know.
Now, also with you now, like I said, doing some work in the UK or what have you,
Mhm.
we know they're gonna be these talents are gonna be introduced over here, but
Mhm.
we ain't gonna talk about that.
Mhm.
You being introduced over there because their porn fan base, community, what have you, is way
Mhm.
different in America.
Absolutely.
Way different.
Absolutely.
You know. So for you, it's like, how do you tackle that?
Um, I think it goes back to just being open to exploring new things. So like one thing that I've always tried to be really good at is if someone asks me to film something that maybe, and I'm not talking about something that crosses your boundaries, just something that you maybe haven't done before or didn't pique your interest, like a balloon, like blowing up balloons or something, right? Like something that seems silly, but someone asks you to do it, like just feeling willing to try it, and because you don't know. So when I go over there, it's going to be a huge learning experience for me. What does work over here? What are you guys filming? It's clearly going to have a different feel and vibe and whatever to it. So just being willing to learn and to grow and to do some of that. Um, yeah, like I said, some of the random little things like stepping on baked beans that came up recently. That's why I'm
Moving
like
on what?
saying baked beans because they eat a lot
Oh,
of beans over there. Like playing in baked beans with
oh.
in a pool.
I mean, but Europe is fetish heavy,
They are
and
very fetish heavy.
and
Very fetish heavy.
I think part of it contributed to that because the webcam, because
Yeah,
you can't. So people understand you can't film porn in all over the UK. In certain
that's
states,
true.
you
Different
do that.
countries, there are different
But
things.
webcamming,
Yeah.
they treat that shit like it's a goddamn job. People that don't know, they clock in and out. They
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah. Facts. So because of that, like you understand, a lot of their content is more fetish based, which it's gonna be different, but it is also exciting to do something different than, your average everyday gonzo boy girl.
And I mean, because not because, like I said before, even to the point where I'm starting to see more of the storytelling, more of
Yeah.
the
More
see.
cosplay stuff is starting to become more prevalent. Like this generation of like gamers and computer people as
Oh, I predict that's gonna be the shit that everybody gonna try to do next year. It's
yeah.
cosplay,
Yep.
cosplay
And
porn.
some people are gonna do it real good and some people are not. So but that's really, this new generation as they come up, they were raised on iPads. So, their characters and stuff, they're very are very important to them.
Yeah,
Still.
and and two, I ain't go front. It's cool to see cosplay stuff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
if it's done well, for sure. For sure.
oh yeah, because I'm sorry, I love to see a good Star Wars cosplay with a good lightsaber fight. Then the fuck after.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
To the dark side.
Yeah. We did a Marvel orgy once and that was really fun. Like,
Who was you?
uh, uh, I wish I could tell you. I'm not into
It
like I'm
either
not into that kind of stuff at all. It was some girl that has red hair.
it's
Um,
either Rogue,
it wasn't Rogue. She's
uh,
like a
Black
lesser known
Widow.
character. I have to find the picture and send it to you.
With you got Black Widow. Um, there was a
I
whole
don't
bunch
know.
on there red
I
hair.
couldn't even remember what I was wearing in this current moment. That like that's sad. That I'm like I don't even remember what costume I had on.
Yeah, because I think that in this past era and the era that was in, imagination got lost.
Yeah.
It was more of consumption and quantity than
Hmm.
quality and imagination.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So I foresee more of kind of the imagination stuff coming back, and said people getting more techy and more creative as AI continues to grow. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to continue to grow to be relevant. In an even more technological time.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see where our business will head because each point, like I said, if y'all notice, a lot of us is getting podcasts now also. So
That's true.
I was like,
That's
they
true.
figure out the value of having the podcast.
Yeah.
and I like to think it's because of me, damn it, and a couple of other fellas, but definitely my black ass.
You definitely been around longer than most of them. I will say, like, lots of people are popping up now. Like, sometimes people be like, "Oh yeah, all these podcasts," and I'm like, I'm sure that they're great.
Yeah. No, but
Um,
see, the thing about it is if you understand this one point, there ain't no money in it.
yeah,
There's no
oh,
there's no money in podcasting. You have to find a way to make money through it.
yeah. Oh, I know, but yeah, my Savvy has a fantasy football podcast, and
Yeah.
so that's his passion project. I call it. Um, yeah, I'm like there's not a pile for that yet, but he enjoys it, and maybe one day there will be. And
Yeah,
he plays lots of fantasy football, so he can talk forever about it.
yeah, cause no, I wish I was. I mean, don't get it twisted. I get notes with the podcast, but not like I do with the porn.
A little bit
God,
different game. A little bit
I
different
said the
game.
only reason I saw one girl posting some of her podcast stuff on Etsy. I said, I don't know, god dang it, because they already fuck with me with other shit.
Yeah,
It's a freaking podcast. What the fuck? But all I just know is no, it just crazy. The other thing I'm thinking too. It's funny how the people overseas want to get their asses over here. Now we trying to get our asses over there.
yeah. Well, I think too. With um immigration doing all the crazy stuff too. That's impacting people wanting to come over
Yeah.
more than it did. I definitely have seen that shift already this year. That
Oh
more
yeah,
people
no,
from
it's
overseas.
I do predict that this Exotica, this might be the last one you see a lot of internationals for
Yeah. I mean,
um because the tariffs and all the shit that's going on
hmm
politically.
it's even yeah.
And people realize, yeah, it affects our business too, people.
It does. Or it affects our business way more than people give it credit for, because they come down the hardest sometimes on us, which is a whole nother story for another day, a whole nother rabbit hole for another day. Like, because the people that come
Oh
down on
yeah,
us are the people that like us the most, but they don't want to talk about it.
yeah. No, I always said porn and music rules the world.
That's a fact.
And that's
100%.
good.
And the two industries are more closely similar than they are different. Like, I equate the porn industry to the music industry a lot. Like, I feel like right now we're in the era where you can be an independent artist and potentially make it.
Yeah. That's why
You
men.
can start a SoundCloud just like you can start an OnlyFans, right? It's the same thing.
That's why some of them celebrities started getting OnlyFans busted open
Yeah,
because
yeah,
yeah, it to me, like I said before, it's even when I tell people this, people think I joke. Porn has always been a guinea pig for all of the genres. We
that's
showed
a
them how to
fact.
make money on the internet.
That's a
We showed
fact.
them how to actually make money with streaming
Yeah,
because we were streaming.
yep,
Th- th- That was memberships was for
yep.
subscriptions.
Uh-huh.
Funny how we had Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
where Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
the record labels looked at how
Listen,
the porn company.
you
Huh?
can't tell me that Adult DVD Empire and Netflix aren't the same company.
I'm saying right, and then we even showed the record labels how to handle Spotify
Yeah.
because you know what I mean these porn companies had their hands in some of these tube sites.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And one other thing, it's not surprised that we all try to take our ass over to Europe because hell, the Europeans own American porn right now. So there you go.
That part. They own more and more in America because it's impossible for America. Never mind
It's
it.
it's funny as hell. It's like this is on political thing I would say on this because y'all know I don't talk political on these shows too tough. That might change one day. I don't know, but it's funny how we sit here with a tariff the world, but we import more than we export.
You know, I don't usually talk so much politics on my adult stuff. Whatever, we're here. You would have to understand how tariffs work to understand
Yeah,
why that's a bad idea. And the person implementing them, I don't. I'm not sure that he understands. So it's gonna be an
baby, the
interesting
whole
couple of years.
goddamn country don't understand what the tariffs were. You want to know why? Because as soon as they were mentioned, that was the first thing research. I knew what tariffs was in 10th grade.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And understand they're not good.
Yeah. That's actually how we got thrown into the Great Depression was a bunch of tariffs. So
It's not good.
I
And,
think we're in for an interesting couple years in the United States.
oh no, see, Canada said what I've been waiting to hear. They said, well, today is recording,
Yeah.
that they're gonna make their own coalition. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say this again: the world could shut our asses out, and we
Mm-hmm.
fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all don't know how much shit we get versus what we give.
Right. And people were talking about like even stuff that's like made in America. Let's just say Celsius. Like I drink Celsius all the time.
Yeah,
The company is in Florida, but they import the cans that they put the soda in or that they put the energy drink in. So like that's going to go up when they have to pay
let's
to
not
import
talk
these.
about the little artificial flavor and all that. They got to get that from Sweden
Right,
or
right. So they may put it all together in some little, cute spot in Florida, but like all of the stuff that came in to
look a Ford Mustang. All the parts is from overseas.
right.
They
Yeah,
just build it over here.
yeah. People are like, "Oh, manufacturing jobs will come back." When no one
No,
wants
they're
to
not.
work in a factory in America, so this is not going to end well. Like, I
No,
don't,
no.
you know,
I, but that's what the people that
I,
voted for it. You know what I'm saying?
you know,
Fucked around
this
and
is
found
why
out.
I have two international trips planned this year, and see what's going on
Yeah,
over there.
it's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers doing international trip these next 3 years.
Yeah, I made sure that my passport got to me, before too many more restrictions went in on those,
So
and I can get out if I need to.
I swear this is gonna be an extra 4 years. So I done held this lady up here for almost an hour. So Miss Star, tell everybody where they can find you, see you, and see what you do, what you do, what you do.
So you can find I'm all my links.com/Savanna Star. Or I always say, just search Savannah Star in anywhere that you enjoy to watch your content. I bet I have something there for you to enjoy.
Well, yes, she do. People, and As you can see, she looking sexy as fuck, and I hear my premium smoker saying, "Damn, we wish it was a premium smoke room show." Well, guess what? We're going to get her to come back looking sexy just like this, because this is a little preview for y'all. To subscribe to the Premium Smoke Room, people. Talking about 4 premium podcasts for you to enjoy, plus special events. I even go live on X from time to time. And what happens in the Premium Smoke Room? The conversation gets more saucier. The tits pop out. Dildos might pop out. You don't know what might pop off unless you subscribe. And just for you, YouTube, because y'all said that my shit supports sexual gratification. I don't know how. They ain't showing nothing on YouTube. But I digress. You can check out my work in the video store as I give ladies the work because big dicks growing the sticks. That's why they used to call me Big Country. You feel me? As well as on Spotify for you people that's over there on Spotify. I got some Spotify subscription over there. You know what I'm saying? Cheap, under $5. Trust me, you enjoy it. I have had the smoke on it where I give my controversial and unapologetic and sometimes unpopular opinion about so many things from porn, politics, and so forth. And Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talents and producers. We give you that real smoke from a male perspective about our wonderful industry known as porn and a whole bunch of other stuff that I got over there for you to binge listen to. So you got 2 ways to catch the smoke. You can go premium or you can get Savage and come smoke with me over there. Either way, get the smoke. So now, with that being said, people, because this is something new, because I didn't do this last time it was on here. What did we smoke over? What did we learn today, people? Well, we're trying to get our asses over there to where the Europeans is and the people in other countries. You feel me? Because the next frontier and the next step for our business is overseas. Because there's so many ways to generate money overseas that we don't do here. DVDs. Let me break it down to you people. Instead of you paying, let's say, $3 for them to subscribe or 10, they're paying 30, maybe 40, maybe 50 for a DVD that may have 5 scenes on it. Tangible, something they can own. You feel me? Because I remember one time they said, we're going to own nothing and be happy about it. Because technically, when you pay for a movie, do you really own it? You ain't got the physical shit. But overseas, they still have that market. Damn it, I wish I had that market my damn self. You feel me? We forget that we're in a bubble. The United States, yes, it's the United States. Everybody wants to come over here. We the cool kids on the block. I get that. But the way that we make money, the rest of the world does not. And it's our job as business owners to learn how to tap into that money. See, I ain't even gonna lie. When I started making DVDs, that was 75% of my money that was gone, and I didn't need a 9 to 5 back then. You feel me? Because DVDs is worldwide. The key is you have to be worldwide. Also, international market, being introduced to international market means other things. Because you want to know what's interesting about Europe, they way more free than we are sexually. That's sponsorship. That's brand deals with clothing that got language on there that you can't even understand unless you actually from that country. I'm just saying. It gives you more opportunity. The biggest problem in this day and era that's different than any other era that I didn't live through when it comes to porn is that girls didn't think about that these girls nowadays don't think about the enrichment of being a world renowned, world known, beautiful, sex symbol, porn star, influencer, what have you. It's more than going to fucking Dubai taking some fucking pictures on your Instagram. It's about developing relationships with people that ain't from your country that don't technically speak your language, but they do speak the language of business and money. That's universal, people. Keep that in mind. So, You know how we end these things all day and every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Say goodbye to him, Savannah.
Bye, everyone.
We out.